Una good evening, my fellow Ambazonians. Una good evening for all man, for all our big papa them and our big mommy them, for all our uncle them and our auntie them, all our big brother them and our big sister them, for all our neighbor them, all Ambazonian picking them, for all Ambazonian across the globe, for all over the world. Una good evening for all una. I be una brother Asu, we are the spokesperson for the executive office for Governing Council of Ambazonia. So all man, una welcome for this talk for today. We're in a Friday for number 20 month, for number 20 day for the month of November. Una come fine. Today the news over plenty. Na news we all Ambazonian them. Their heart it go over sweet. I go come for give una. I don't come today for give una better report. We don't get them from La République du Cameroun about wetin wa war of independence, wa strategy. Now, how it compromise La République du Cameroun. Now, how the strategy, the Ambazonian strategy for defeat La République du Cameroun, wetin it do am for the Cameroonian people themselves, wetin it do am for the colonial state. I go also give una a review or a situation report review for our war of independence. I go broke down all the three components for our war of independence. I go take each of them. We go make a review of it, and then I go also give una my conversation. Where I get them with a commander for Ground Zero. I will tell una that conversation, and then a message we will get them for the people then for SCBC and the people then for IG Care. So today. A great show, very educative, very empowering. All man, it had go sweet because today, La République go confirm. Say, wetin Ambazonia they be promised La République. Say, this time around, it will be at the end of La République du Cameroun. My people, I want to tell when I say the end for Cameroon, it don't they come very close. So when I come find, we'll go start, before we want to start, as always, when we come for here, because right now, we there for our Facebook Live. We also there for Ground Zero Live for ACN TV. So we could take the time. We salute all the people they don't join we through Facebook and all our Facebook friends and our families. Make us salute all man we there for here. Leonga Martin, you be the very first person who I don't see you. The Don Grant for that side for Boya, we salute you. Welcome, Comrade Leonga Martin. All right, Comrade Fonyam, we salute you, Mr. Gideon. Welcome. Yes, welcome. Manulo people, we salute you, Don Grant. Welcome. Yes. Welcome. Today we go compromise La République du Cameroun. When I come fine. Story day for house. Big story day for house. Yes, Comrade Joe Brown, the Donest Grant for that side for Istanbul. We call you Cafe Don Man. Yeah, Piero, we salute you, Mr. Murphy. We salute all man. Yes. Rutinka, we salute you, Mr. Tika. Welcome, all man. Comrade Bernard, we salute you, Mr. Chair. Welcome, all man, for house. Yes, una share and find. Today, La République hier, La République hier moi. La République hier from the Ambazonian people today. All right, Comrade Obedient to don't come for here. Yes, that Dotty to don't come. All right, Cranfield don't come to. Comrade Asobo, welcome. Comrade Ashley to don't come. Ashley Johnson, Chai. See person in name Ashley Johnson. I salute you, Ashley Johnson. Yeah, Comrade John Guanca to don't come. I salute you, Don Grant. I salute all now. Yes, Comrade John, Mr. Asanji to don't come for Kanjon Way. When I come find today, when I had go over sweet for what you would talk about La République du Cameroun. What a comedy country. When I come find. All right. Comrade Mbule. We salute you, Mr. Kingsley. When I come find. Yes. When I come find. Make all man come find. All right. Comrade Fogwe to don't come. Comrade Clement. Welcome. Ma Victorine. We salute you, Ma Victorine Aqua. We hope so you watch Ma Victorine Aqua. We hope so you watch that from La République du Cameroun. And if we watch from La République du Cameroun, I begin to tell you what did happen for our country. Yes, this fine woman to don't come, Tambesera. We salute you, Masera. Yes, John Amba. He talks a PS. You cafe day up. We thank you, Comrade John Amba, warrior. This guy, the warrior. Ambali squad to don't come. Comrade Rene Benz. Welcome all man for house. Now only few people that they yes, ACM live on ground zero. All right, comrade Nelson, would salute you, Mr. Comrade Nsen, would salute you, Mr. Njong. Welcome, Chomney. We salute you, Chomney Million. Welcome all man for house. Even Chomney Million to don't come John with Chomney Million. Welcome for house. Chomney, we need for change your name from Chomney Million to Chop My Money Million. Annie, we salute all una come fine. Story over sweet. The Republic of Cameroon go yes until from the Ambazonian people there. All man for us, una welcome. Una sabi say when we come for here, una sabi say will be people don't like music, so we will knock more music small. Okay, they talk say they don't send me something for office, make a check out. I go also they bring in one of our big brother for that side for Europe. I will bring it. We'll also bring it through Skype, but we'll bring it through call. We'll go call in for also talk for Ground Zero. Also encourage Ground Zero. So make we start. So all man for house, when I welcome. Now this afternoon for my own time, we'll be been around 12 o'clock my own time for afternoon. I be get a call with a commander for Ground Zero, and it been a very very good call. Now commander way when I talk for you, I realize and say me and you talk. It the fight under a Siseko IG, and it be very proud. You know, when me and you talk, I discover say it the fight under Siseko IG for the great state of Manu. I encourage this commander. I encourage you make the continue for stand for Siseko, make the continue for stand for Ambazonia, make the continue for be loyal for a war of independence. You know, me and you get a very good conversation. I encourage the commander. I tell you, say be very important. Say even though you know they fight under Siseko IG, but me they know say they say all them they fight now for Ambazonian liberation. Me they not carry and put them for their head say. Just because they fight for Siseko IG, they fight, me they know say they fight for Siseko, now they fight for Ambazonia. Not be na Siseko, not be na fight for Siseko. Siseko, now one of our leaders them. We don't stand up for defend Ambazonia. So as they don't rally behind Siseko, me they know say they rally now behind now for Ambazonia. I encourage this commander, say make all them for the great state of Manu. May they work together. All the commanders them. May they work together. May they know say the liberation now for our people them. The liberation now for all man for Ground Zero. The liberation now for all them. The liberation not be now for Siseko. The liberation not be now for the egg of sea. The liberation not be now for ADF. The liberation not be now for IG Care. The liberation now for Ambazonia. The liberation now for the Ambazonian people them. I encourage you. I tell you say. You know, make it always me feel free for reach out. If we we would support them, we too would support them. So we'll get a very, very good conversation, and he'll be very happy. The way I talk for you, he'll be very, very happy. And he even tell me they say yes, then they work together hand to hand with the commanders and for ADF. I encourage you, not only work with only the commanders and for ADF, but may they work with every other commander who is for ground. Where he hand day, where he stand up now for fight for Ambazonian war, Ambazonian liberation. So now the great conversation that and the commander talks say make a salute all now. He talks say then they define for ground and their focus now for la Republic du Cameroun. I tell you say no matter the political, no matter the difference where commander they get them, may they resolve them among themselves. May they make sure say they not ever use their gun against one another. Except it being at the one way some group come out, some group where they don't the infiltrators that they control them and they come out, one can attack them. They may they use their right for self-defense for make sure so they defend themselves. But their primary responsibility now for our people them, their primary responsibility now for the land, their primary responsibility now for defend Ambazonia. We'll get a very good conversation. It talks to make a salute all now. I want to tell the people for IG Care say this ACN where they don't create them so we egg of still don't create them. they not create this ACN television not only for AGOFC people them. ACN na for Ambazonia. This one ACN na Ambazonian Liberation TV. Now one national TV this. So this platform for ACN na a communication network. Na for here we promote wa soldier them. Na for here we na for promote wa mami them. Na for promote Ground Zero. Na for speak on behalf of Ground Zero. Na for empower Ground Zero. So the people for IGK, if they get a message where they want communicate for Ground Zero, may they know say they get a home, they get a place where the fee can communicate. You know, Comrade Silas and all the people them for IGK, Jesse, you know, ACN now on a plate now on a TV too. You know, not be now only for people them for AGOFC. At the same thing, I don't talk for what brother them for the indigenous people of Southern Cameroons. I don't also tell them say ACN are for all man. ACN are for all man. Any man where he come na for advocate for Ambazonia. Any man where he day na for fight against la Republic of Cameroon. Any man where he day na for can't defend Ambazonia, promote Ambazonia. ACN na your voice, na your place for all man. ACN not been a place for division, not been a place for fight one another. ACN a place where they unite all Ambazonia them. Or they unite our hopes, our aspiration. ACN are the place where they bring our people them together. Because the Governing Council of Ambazonia, as the leading movement for champion the independence of Ambazonia, it get the responsibility for established collaboration with all other credible leadership. The Governing Council of Ambazonia, as the leading movement, when I did defend, I did lead for Ground Zero, and I did lead diplomatically, you also get that responsibility for establish a meaningful collaboration based on mutual benefit for the greater benefit of Ambazonia, based on mutual respect, based on the various organizations, their strength, and the contribution they figure for our people. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, as the leading liberation force, as the National Liberation Army for Ground Zero, it get a mandate for unite and collaborate with all the genuine forces, sister forces and partner forces, for unite them as the leading force. Now the essence that for leadership and the ADF, now their responsibility for unite Ground Zero. Now also the responsibility of the Governing Council of Ambazonia for make sure say collaboration, a meaningful collaboration, it happen with the credible leadership of credible organizations. All right. So, Comrade Silas, when I get a place for ACN, any message when I want pass on, you know, what people them for America, Barrister Bogarden, all when I get a place, you know, Honorable Weber, all winner. ACN now in a place for talk for the Ambazonian people them. ACN for all Ambazonian. All man, all Ambazonian. Any man where it fight na for Ambazonia, ACN your voice. Now for here you will come, you take your talk, you take the defense, you take your what you get them for talk for our people them. You get a platform. ACN for play with the defend or soldier them. So now make we enter for the story proper way, and I know say all na the way. So, my fellow Ambazonians, the strategy of our war of independence, they create the strategy. Now say first, now for kumkumize la République du Cameroun, now for weaken la République du Cameroun, now for destroy la République du Cameroun, now for punish la République du Cameroun. The Ambazonian strategy with the Governing Council of Ambazonia, it create them for the Ambazonian people for use them for liberate Ambazonia. The primary target for that strategy now for destroy la République du Cameroun. So today, we go do a review of that strategy, remind one of that strategy, then I go take when I go for La République du Cameroun. I give una facts directly from La République du Cameroun Mamiden as they cry for waiting AMBAZONIAN strategy. It don't cost some for La République du Cameroun in terms of the citizens themselves. Citizens them for La République du Cameroun, they don't start cry. And I go to tell when I wait till they come next for Pobia once the citizens they start for cry. So when I remember 2 days ago, big bomb it happened for that side for Douala. Now one of the first time then this way a bomb, an explosion, it don't take place. 2 days ago around 11 o'clock at night, we get news say bomb chakara for Bonaberi for some bar that they call and say rails. Bomb chakara for Bonaberi. Now the first time this way, this kind of bomb don't the chakara for Bonaberi, it don't the chakara for Douala. In the past, for the for Yaoundé, we hear bomb the chakara left and right almost every day or every week. Bomb the chakara for Yaoundé. Because the Ambazonian people promised Pobia, as long as Pobia declare war for Ambazonia, La République du Cameroun no go ever know peace again. As long as Pobia, an army of occupation, an army of terrorism, an army of torture, a genocidal army, they continue for beef for Ambazonia. The Ambazonian strategy, it go destroy La République du Cameroun from inside. Not be Ambazonia them, but not the strategy by itself. It go destroy La République du Cameroun. So when we see those kind things that don't happen, that kind of insecurity don't take place for Douala, when I think na for side come out. Because the strategy means say these things will happen within Cameroon because it go create insecurity and it go create instability where the people of La République du Cameroun then say they go start vexed with their own country. The citizens of Cameroon, they go vexed with their own country. And so therefore they go scatter their own country because of the vexation. Why? Now the Ambazonian strategy. Not be Ambazonia go destroy La République du Cameroun. But now the strategy, it go cause the people of La République du Cameroun for destroy their own country. Now the Ambazonian sense that we no need for do am. But we create the strategy in the way where themselves, now themselves they go start create explosives. Now themselves they go vex with the system. Now the vexation where they get them with the system. Now the vexation where they get them for Pobia. Now the vexation where they get them with their government. Now it go make them. They go develop explosives. They go to buy guns. They go to buy things them. They go want for fight Pobia. So the explosion them where they happen for Douala and for Yaoundé. Now the fight where it don't start for within La République du Cameroun because of the Ambazonian strategy we put them. So it go make them. They go start for fight themselves. They go make them. It go make them. They go start for destroy Cameroon for punish Pobia. For tell Pobia say themselves they not be happy and they want make it go. All right. So make a take una now for explain and for all man. Make we do a review of our strategy. When I know say when the governing council of Ambazonia, it give the Ambazonian people them, it talks say Siam. We know if he talks say we want free Ambazonia and we not get a strategy. So the leadership of governing council of Ambazonia, it bring together the best minds, the best experts where they don't study revolutions since the beginning of mankind. They study the way La République du Cameroun day, the way they design the occupational state. They study the way the international system work. They study the way they don't occupy Ambazonia. And they decide for do magic. They create a strategy. That strategy, again, at 3 parts. The strategy of Ambazonian liberation, again, at 3 parts. Number 1, mobilization. For this mobilization, when we talk about mobilization, Now the mobilization of the Ambazonian people them. Now the inspiration of the Ambazonian people them. Now a grassroots movement. Now movement where all Ambazonia they be involved. Now movement where mommy they be involved, papa they be involved, brother they be involved, pikin they be involved. All man, whether you be girl, you be boy, whether you be grandpapa or you be big mommy, all man be involved. So the Ambazonian War of Independence now a collective resistance. So this collective resistance now two steps the day. Number one, ground zero. Now the collective resistance for ground zero. While people them for ground zero, they rise up collectively for fight as one. So for ground zero, where to will start with that? We'll start with ghost towns. We say, okay, ghost town, it go make we all man go participate. All man, it go show say the one independence. All man, it go commit. All man. So we'll get this collective resistance for ground zero. And we'll talk say, if I say make all man show the defiance of Ambazonian in terms of our rejection of Cameroon occupation, our rejection of the annexation. So our people, they get this collective defiance, not the mobilization that. A collective mobilization for Ambazonia. Then we get lockdown. Once in a while, the leadership, the defense forces, they go decide. Say, okay, the colonial state they try to do something. Make would take 1 or 2 days for shut down Ambazonian so that we fit disrupt the activities and the intentions of the colonial state. So we get these occasional lockdowns once in a while. All right? All those ones, now the mobilization that for ground zero. Now, another thing for ground zero, I say, for ground zero, now the defense, they be the leadership now for ground zero. Since we don't destroy La République du Cameroun colonial infrastructure and their colonial administration, the Ambazonian people, because of the occupation, will not fit set up a leadership for ground zero. So the defense, now General Efang, be the supreme commander when I did lead ground zero. The general for ground, now he be the face of the resistance of the armed struggle. So General Efang, now he that me say now he the articulate, now he be the political decision maker, the political decision figure for ground zero. It be represented by General Efang because now he be the general where he lead the defense, the armed struggle for ground. I hope say so. Whenever we call for a lockdown, we know say they say no lockdown will be successful if our defense forces they not step up and reinforce the lockdown. So lockdown that it be very successful now because they will get a powerful defense force where it back up that lockdown, it reinforce the lockdown, and that's why our lockdown that it be very effective. If you just call a lockdown and you not get the defense force to back them up, it always fail. And that's why when I don't see some people, they don't call for lockdown because they don't get the power of those forces for enforce the lockdown, it never work. But when you see we come together, consult with the generals, and then they decide for 1 or 2 days for lockdown, maximum 3 days. When they decide, when I say they always be very effective. So it be very important for all our people, they know say they say the political figure in terms of the what did happen for ground zero, the aspiration of the Ambazonian people, their hopes, their wishes, and their dreams. Now the forces, now our defense forces, they carry them now for fight for it, for actualize for it, for breed for it, for sacrifice for it. So our defense forces, now they hold the revolution. Without our defense forces, there is no liberation. When I just know so. Without the defense, liberation no dey. Without the defense, Ambazonia, it will become like a graveyard. Without our defense forces, they don't massacre more than 1 million Ambazonians. Just like they be doing for Rwanda. Now, because of our defense forces, we don't even minimize the killings on ground zero. Now, because of our defense forces. Without the defense, there is no Ambazonia. Without our defense, internationalization will be, and there will be no such thing as negotiation. So now our defense forces, now then there be the fire where they keep this war of independence alive. Colonial school boycotts, the lockdown, the ghost towns, while they be important, all those things, they not go happen without the defense forces. Now the power of our defense forces that's why it be very essential. The world know they talk about Ambazonia if we not be get defense forces for ground. The world know for they talk about Ambazonia today because the world never talk about Ambazonia since 1961. So you can reach 2017. The world not be care for 2016. No man will be talk about Ambazonia. No man will be call for negotiation. Now only when the Ambazonian people they pick guns. So that part of that mobilization, well, for people then, it take we now for step 2. We are the defense. And the importance of defense that. And all we get for no say, they say, General Efang, now the supreme leader, when I did lead ground zero, now I did lead all the fighters. General Efang represent all the fighters for ground zero. All of them, they be represented by General Efang. They be represented by the leadership of Ambazonia Defense Forces. Because now then they be the papa and the mommy for self-defense. Number 2, for mobilization. Now for diaspora. When I sabi say what people, they take onto the streets of New York, the streets of Toronto, the streets of Ottawa, the streets of London, the streets for Paris, the streets of Amsterdam and Rotterdam. They take onto the streets of Helsinki, all over the world, where people they take onto the streets for protest, for whole rallies, for make petitions. Now part of the mobilization that. Now part of the mobilization that for internationalize what struggle, for internationalize the hopes, the dreams, and the aspirations of the Ambazonian people. So what you all we do on for outside here, now part of that international, now part of that second step, that mobilization. All what you do here for educate, for advocate, for use social media, now part of that internationalization. I mean, part of that mobilization. When I also part of internationalization. And then number 3, diplomacy. All what the forces that they do on for ground, all what they do in terms of protest and petition, it only lead to one thing. Now for give the political leaders them the tools which they need them for carry and enter for diplomatic table. For go table now these things for the places then where they matter. Now the whole game this. So when I see now say they say what resistance for ground, what defense for ground, what rallies them for outside here, what protests them for outside here, what social media, all these things, they end up and for give the political leadership which they need them for go defend the aspirations of the Ambazonian people them, for go debate for Ambazonia, for fight now for Ambazonia. So now the 3 pillars them that mobilization, collective mobilization, our defense, and then you get targeted diplomacy. Now, you talk so okay, but how all these things that we don't talk so, now how they relate for the defeat of La République du Cameroun? Now who the fight? Who the fight now for the Republic of Cameroon? They designed the collective mobilization for rise up against the Republic of Cameroon. They designed the self-defense for rise up against the Republic of Cameroon. Our internationalization of our struggle now against Cameroon occupation. So all which the designer, while now for all we, but now for make sure say we put our focus, our energy now for fight Cameroon occupation and for educate the international system and the world about Cameroon annexation and occupation of our country. And say the world get for rise up for put an end to colonialism, where the SSF they talk say like crime against humanity. So they are the ground zero, whether na lockdown, whether na ghost town, whether na self-defense, everything will happen for ground zero. It will lead for all we here for outside, for take on, meet up the world, and then defend Ambazonian from that perspective. Fight Cameroon. So how this one it relate for defeat Cameroon? Now for here way the other part of the strategy come in. Number one, make the territory ungovernable. For Chakara, all Cameroon colonial institutions in Ambazonia. All. Anything where it symbolize La République du Cameroun. Anything where it symbolize Cameroon for Ambazonia. Making the territory ungovernable. It means say it must Chakara. Anything. They are colonial gendarme, police and army. They are colonial SDOs and DOs. They are colonial courts. Anything from Ambazonia where it carry the image of Cameroon occupation of Ambazonia, it must be destroyed. Anything when I way that they use them for administer occupation, when I way Cameroon use them for administer occupation, annexation, and colonialism of Ambazonia, it must be destroyed. All the institutions of occupation must be dismantled. Now when they talk say make the territory ungovernable for Cameroon, for the occupation. They not talk say make the territory ungovernable or inhabitable for the Ambazonian people then. They talk say make the territory ungovernable for the occupier. So that the ground will be too hot for Cameroon for be able to operate. The ground will be too hot for SDO for be able to live there. And I want to tell when I say the strategy for make the territory ungovernable. The Ambazonian people don't achieve 1,000% success rate. For that one, we don't achieve 1,000% success rate. For that one, we feel knock our hand for chest. Say yes, we don't teach Cameroon a lesson. We don't show Cameroon something. We don't kumkumize Cameroon. We don't jam Cameroon. By making the territory ungovernable, we don't take away Cameroon the ability for administer occupation, annexation, and colonialism for Ambazonia. Through that strategy. It be one of the most powerful and the most effective strategy. Number two, for increase the cost of occupation. When we talk say increase the cost of occupation, not be like
Power
just
off.
talk, my people. Increase the cost of occupation means say La République du Cameroun is no go fit for survive, for keep Ambazonia, for keep itself Ambazonia. The cost could be too high and they no go fit pay the cost. The cost for them for administer occupation, colonialism, and annexation of Ambazonia, it go be too greater a cost when La République no fit keep up. A powerful strategy. Very powerful. Now, that one also means say we got to stop economic exploitation. So through our defense forces, They stop Cameroon ability for extract Ambazonian natural resources, for go sell them and for use them for buy weapons, for can't kill our people then. Na sense. So that's why from 2017 till now, we don't stop almost 95% of anything we be the give La Republic of Cameroon money for Ambazonia. For that one, we don't achieve 95% success rate. Burn down Sonara, shut down CDC, shut down Pamol. They don't cut down almost 95% of all the timber the way they live in Ambazonia. The places the way they move the crude oil, the British company, it don't carry back, it come out, it go. La République du Cameroun now, it import fuel, it import petrol. Cameroon the import petrol for retail and back within Cameroon because of Ambazonian strategy. As una don't hear the other day, for the report we can put on for una. They don't borrow so much money for use for Sonara in name. Almost 700 and something billion CFA. Almost 700 and something. 700 and something billion. We don't borrow. And now the Sonara no day. How do we money pay them? The day that the crisis CDC need another 68 billion for them for try for rehabilitate and revive CDC. 68 billion. And they request another 34 billion for Pambo. Now the power of Ambazonia that. Now how powerful what people they be that. A system we don't exist since 1961. Just in the last 4 years, the Ambazonian people don't render that system useless. Just in the last 4 years, you don't stop them from exploiting our resources. When they don't use them for keep their country together. For increase the cost of occupation also means they say La République du Cameroun it go cause economic crisis for La République du Cameroun and the thing this one really can't talk about today. The economic crisis where our strategy don't cause them for La République du Cameroun it be unbearable to the people of Cameroon. Make a show on this video and then we'll continue the talk. This video na the watch on. Now a video of the gangster of the chief terrorist Pobia. The bloodsucker. This man, this video na one watch on. Now the video of a dead man walking. Now the video of person we don't die. Now a corpse, it walk. The brain, they don't die. All he head. The brain for inside, it don't die. Now the person this, well, La Republic, people them, they still live, make it govern them. When I watch, and when I feel sorry for these people them. When I watch. Ambazonians, when I see him, he no fit turn. He no even fit for recognize the people that they work for he. The colonial dictator of La République du Cameroun, he no even fit for, he no even know, excuse me, he no even know who that they work for he. Now a woman they go holy, it turn it like robot. It turn it like a mannequin. That mannequin they for shop. Now so poor don't become. Brain no day again. Heart no day again. Who say how I think say this one happen? Now Ambazonia don't kumkumize pobia. Now the stress where Ambazonia they don't cause them. Now the pressure. Now the Ambazonian pressure. Now it don't chop pobia for inside. So they don't finish it. It don't do like person will get Alzheimer's. You not even fit for no. Who side it go? Now woman now go holy. It turning like mannequin. It turning like robot. What did this one mean for our people then? It mean for the Ambazonian people how powerful will be. For take a man, wait for all his life. He don't believe say he be a King Kong. He don't believe say he be a lion. Ambazonia they take pobia, the useless pobia. It become like Arata. Ambazonia useless pobia. Pobia don't become like small rat. Ambazonia the useless pobia. So the pobia don't go the height. You know if you put the face for outside anymore. Now the power of the Ambazonian people them this. They don't useless see. Finish Cameroon. So our strategy in terms of how powerful it be will be a very powerful people. Our strategy for increase the cost of occupation, stop economic exploitation, those two strategies for fight and bleed La République du Cameroun, for render Cameroon economy useless and make sure say, so once you make the territory ungovernable, you increase the cost of occupation. The economic crisis where it don't create what strategy don't create an economic crisis within Cameroon. As we talk yesterday, I be the watch their news because I like to do my research by listening to what happen within their country. So now when La République du Cameroun mami them, Equinox people them, they go for market. Equinox talk say make they go for market. They go find out from La République du Cameroun mami them. Now how the war we poor be declared from Ambazonia. Now how that war they affect them. Ambazonia when I hear this one. La République du Cameroun mami. They cry. They cry. They cry for Equinox. They cry say poor be don't kill them. La République du Cameroun mami they cry. They say chop down over there. So mommy, he talks in a 10,000 this, he hold 10,000. He say before, if he take 10,000, he buy the family fit chop breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He say between 2017, so they can't reach now. Things they don't bad for inside La République du Cameroun. Things they don't bad. A family fee only chop now one chop per day. They don't go from having 3 meals per day. Now the fee only survive on 1 meal per day because of the Ambazonian strategy. It don't cause economic hardship and it don't increase the cost of living for La République du Cameroun in order for choke the system. When I hear fine, the strategy be meant now for suffocate the system for inside, for choke the system, for hang the system. That mommy cry for market. He cry. He said that the war we poor be declared for Ambazonia. It don't make chop down over there for La République du Cameroun. When I hear this one small base in Gary, maybe when I feel talk say they say I be in Gambe man. Not be in Gambe na science. Now last week, I can't tell when I say small base in Gary, the people of La République du Cameroun they would pay 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times for small base in Gary. When I be things I be in Gambe man, I not be in Gambe man. Na science. So according to Equinox, that news, They talk say before this war one start, small base in Gary for market, they be the buy am na 3,750 francs, la Republic money. Now today, there is small base in Gary for Douala na 17,500. On a dit here? Before Paul Biya declare war for Ambazonia, too much chop, it be the enter la Republic of Cameroon. Small base in Gary, they only buy am na 3,750. As of now, when yesterday for Equinox, small base in Gary na 17,500 francs. That's why that Bulu Mami there and that Douala woman, they don't carry their head and put them for head. Put their hand for head. Say Paul Biya go kill them. Because the system was strategy. It did choke Cameroon from inside. It did compromise Cameroon. Why this one be important? Oh, make I tell you this one. Una sabi that white beans, that Ambazonian white beans, we the command only for Ambazonia, for go la Republic of Cameroon. Una sabi no? Ambazonia, una hear this one no? So, ma meet them for market. They talk say before this war, it won't start. Before Paul Biya declare war for Ambazonia, one back Ambazonian white beans, they be the buyer at 35,000. When I hear final, one bag beans before Paul Biya declare war for Ambazonia, they be the buyer at 35,000. Now, for November 2020, one bag Ambazonian white beans, they sell them inside Douala now 150,000 francs. You don't come out from 35,000 for one bag white beans, Ambazonian beans. Now the citizens of La Republique du Cameroun, for them for chop Ambazonian white beans, they get for pay now 150,000 francs. This one, now according to research and news, where they talk for Equinox. Or when I go watch them. It happened 2 days ago, where Equinox go for market. La Republique du Cameroun, mami, they cry. They say business, they can't finish. Money no day. Now so things they don't dare. So now white beans, the price of Ambazonian white beans for La Republique, it don't go up by 5 times. The price don't increase by 500% for Ambazonian beans. Now the cost, now in this, now for choke them for inside. Because once you put that kind of strategy for increase the cost of occupation, it will increase the cost of living for the citizens of La Republique du Cameroun. The citizens of La Republique du Cameroun, they be weak. Because now the best time this, when Ambazonia don't chakara the occupational system, when Ambazonia don't useless pobia, render pobia, and degrade Cameroon economy and their political system to almost nothing. If Maurice Kamto be get canas, if the political parties them for La Republique du Cameroun, they be get canas, they for take advantage of Ambazonia kumkumization of La Republique du Cameroun and get Paul Biya out of that place within 2 days. If the citizens of La Republique du Cameroun, they be get more courage like Ambazonia, the state don't be weak. The state not there again. The state is weak. Now the weakest this way don't ever be. The state not get money. The police they don't get morals. The army they don't tire. Janam they don't tire. The country they fall apart. If they be get a political opposition. Now the best time this way the people of La Republique du Cameroun, they for take this time where Ambazonia they suffocate La Republique du Cameroun and they mobilize their people for chase the colonial dictator to the gates of hell. But unfortunately for the people of La Republique du Cameroun, when Ambazonia don't finish La Republique du Cameroun, then they not feel rise up for take their own country back and get these people, put all these people, send these people to 6 feet. Unfortunately. So, but in terms of for we as Ambazonians, make we understand, will be a people that get sense, will be a people that be very intelligent. That's why I would guarantee Paul Biya say Cameroon must leave Ambazonia because the center cannot hold because there is no center. They not fit sustain the war. They don't get the money. They will not fit borrow the money anymore. They into so much debt. Their country there for a severe economic crisis. Companies, international companies, there's so much insecurity for Cameroon. No international company, it won't go invest for Cameroon. Some would hear say, oh, some people they talk say, you know, they don't. Some businessmen don't go build some mall for Douala. Well, the Republic of Cameroon people then, so they can't build una small mall, una the glad since independence. They can't build una mall since 1961. They don't can build una small mall. Now the Republic of Cameroon people they talk say, hey, development don't they come for Cameroon mall. It's small mall. That one a normal thing, no. for people that forget more than normal thing. When I go for Calabar, just for Calabar for Nigeria, when a small state, when I go for Calabar, it's like the entire economy for Cross River State. A big part of the economy of the entire La Republique du Cameroon. Only for small Cross River. When I go for Calabar, see these people then, they go build a small mall. They talk say, oh, see development on the camp for Cameroon. Well, when I wait till the camp for Cameroon, it never even start. Because as Ambazonia, they unleash this strategy. As they push Cameroon out, the cost of chop for Cameroon citizens them, it go dear. Why it be important? You see, the people of La Republique du Cameroon, they never really woke up for create a sustainable resistance against the colonial dictator and a gangster, because Ambazonia they supply them free chop. So they not be worried them. They woke up morning time, they know say Ambazonia will bring plenty chop and he sell them for them very dead cheap. They don't need for work. Well, Ambazonia they say it go end. Now the people they don't get any choice. An uprising where they come for La Republique du Cameroun, Pobia no Fistana. The uprising where they come for La Republique du Cameroun, Pobia no Fistana. I been talk with one of the policy expert them for the governing council of Ambazonia. Just said yesterday, he tell me say PS. Not forget say the French uprising. The French Revolution, it be start now because of the increase, because the price for bread, it be go up. I say, eh? He say, yes. He say, don't forget. He say, PS, don't forget. He said the French Revolution, the reason why the French people, they be finally rise up for their own freedom. Now because the price of bread, it becomes so high, the people not be fit to afford them. I say you make sense. He says, so you see that Ambazonian strategy for increase the cost of occupation and for stop economic exploitation. He say it go make chop go dear for La Republique du Cameroun. And when chop dear for a country, the people they always rise up against that system. It's a PS way. It's a way. He said the war will go start for La Republique du Cameroun. Once the people they not fit chop again. Once mommy not fit take 10,000 go for market, he buy chop for a family. He said that mommy, no man will tell you for rise up against Pobia. He said remember the French Revolution. It start because of the cost of bread. It start because of the rising cost of bread. The rising cost of living for La Republique du Cameroun. Now part of our strategy for choke the system for inside, for the people, for rise up against their own system. Now the brilliance of the Ambazonian people this. So now with the mommy don't start cry. Now with the system don't fall. Now with they get political chaos. Now with they get economic crisis. Now they get a cultural crisis. Now they get instability. Bomb that they explode for here and there. The people, they go rise up. The people of La République du Cameroon, because of Ambazonian strategy, they go rise up because of the high cost of chop. They go rise up. They go rise up against this dictator. They go rise up against the system. They go rise up. They go follow the footsteps. Now, hungry, you always make the French people they rise up. So the Ambazonian strategy, a brilliant strategy for choke the system from inside. We don't start for choke them from inside. Make a round up by showing una the country where they call Cameroun. And why Ambazonian, they no go ever agree, accept, forget anything for do with Cameroun. I'm showing our pictures. Now high school this. According to La République du Cameroun, now probably a legacy this. Ambazonian wanna watch. Now high school that for La République du Cameroun. High school. After they get independence in 1960. 60 years after independence. 60. Now high school that for La République du Cameroun. Now high school that. Now high school that for Cameroun. What a pitiful country. Cameroon is a disgrace to humanity. Cameroon is a disgrace to the world. As we be tell now, it go come a time where the citizens of La République du Cameroun, they go the shame for call themselves say they be Cameroonese. Now probably a legacy that. Now probably a legacy this. And they shame that for Cameroon. So imagine this kind people then. They come out say the one can govern Ambazonia. Imagine this kind of people and they come out. They talk say the one govern the Ambazonian people then. Imagine. That's why I get so much respect for this generation. That's why I get so much respect for our mommy them and our papa them and our brother them and our sister them. That's why I get so much respect for Ambazonians. That's why I get so much respect. Because we need to tolerate. No go ever again tolerate this kind nonsense. Say make this kind of people they can't talk. Say the one occupy we. The one govern we. The one make we live under them. The one make we live as one. With this kind of people, now a disease. Cameroon is a cancer to humanity. Cameroon is a cancer to humanity. As they're talking for pigeon, na bad dream over our dead bodies. That's why people get. That's why people will get for resist by all means necessary. That's why we get for intensify our resistance against Cameroon. That's why we must do whatever it takes for end Cameroon presence on Ambazonia. Ambazonia, they're the only hope for our people. The independence and freedom for Ambazonia, now the only hope. Now the only thing we go give our people a dignified life. Now the only thing we go give our people them, we go guarantee our people them a quality life, quality education, a good healthcare system, good governance, public transparency, public accountability, and progress for our people them. We no go ever mingle with these people them. That's why the moment Ambazonia achieve a freedom, we must build a wall. We must build a wall. We must build a wall for keep this disease out of Ambazonia. And we no go accept refugees from Cameroon. They are refugees, they will go for Central Africa. They will go for Equatorial Guinea. We no go accept refugees from Cameroon. We'll be too kind for them. When they chased them out for 1960. We're part of be very kind. We want to get independence. We'll go build a wall. Because Cameroon go chakara. Ambazonia no will be a safe haven for them. Because they must rise up for their own country. They must rise up for their own country. Because we no go one get an Ambazonia and we build a stable Ambazonia. Somebody rise up now, take their own country. So that why would they build a stable Ambazonia? They go also get a stable Cameroon. Yes. Why would they build a stable and prosperous Ambazonia? We need a stable Cameroon. We don't want a Cameroon full of terrorism, full of chaos and full of instability. That's why the French people, they must rise up. That's why the Camerooners, they must rise up and chase Pobia to the gates of hell. At their own time this. Ambazonia don't really be free. For our own, don't really secure that part. We get our soldiers now where they defend the land. And they will protect that land. They will protect that independence by all means necessary. Now the generation this. So we don't do really well. We don't compromise like the Republic of Cameroon. The end don't come for Cameroon. The end don't come for Pobia. As when I don't watch that video, when I don't see him, the end don't come. It need to exist again. Pobia na no event. Pobia na no event. It need to exist again. Now other people they run that country. It just dinner like a robot. They just put it there. Pobia don't finish. So now what did this one mean for we? What do we need to do next? Well, you don't make the territory ungovernable. You achieve 1,000%. You don't increase cost of occupation. You stop economic exploitation. One, you don't move all governors. You chase them out of Ambazonia. You chase the DOs out of Ambazonia. You chase the parliamentarians out of Ambazonia. Chase senators out, the colonial senators out of Ambazonia. You got a responsibility now. You got really good news for the Ambazonian people then. You already achieved the victory we want now. Now for secure that victory. Because when you achieve something, you get for secure them. And for here, the defense stabilization come in. For give Ambazonia then, Ambazonia. For put a defense force, we go protect the territorial integrity of Ambazonia. Put a defense force, we go guarantee a successful negotiation. Now for put a defense force for ground. We now the force go project negotiation. You put a defense force, we go stand up for Boya. Before even negotiations. And the world, say, okay, La Republique. They don't take back their country. We need to show the world to be serious. We need to show the world. At least make we capture Boya. At least make we take part of Bamenda. Pin Ambazonian flag. So if you want me the world take we serious, we need to show the seriousness of our seriousness. If you want to get a successful negotiation, you need to go there with power. As we don't talk about. We got to go on negotiation table with AK for table. Any negotiator For the Ambazonian expert negotiators, every man go carry a table, he AK go for all day. And the same thing for Ground Zero. We need for chase out Okala Bilai. We need for take back the governor's mansion for Boya. Take back the governor's mansion for Upstation. We need for take up. That's why we need a powerful stabilization force. For stand for Ambazonia and pin the Ambazonian flag. And own the territory. We no go wait for the well. We no go wait until negotiations. We must go for negotiation in a powerful state. With the only thing for that negotiation table. Now Cameroun for sign a surrender agreement. Would you go negotiate now with Cameroun? I mean, come on. Why you will get a country and then you want to go negotiate that country? No. You see, we go for negotiation. Now for go make Cameroun make it sign a surrender agreement. And pack out of Ambazonia. Now negotiation that. So that's why we need a powerful stabilization force. For give the leadership the diplomatic leverage. For make that demand for the international system. We need to negotiate with land with Cameroun. There's nothing to compromise on. Now our land, the time don't come back for take. The time don't come for take them back. The frontiers will not be build an army, so it'll be easy for Cameroun for moving. This generation will put a powerful army for defend Ambazonia now. So we need that 250 acre with General F and don't ask him. We need that commander for Manu. We will talk for it today. All of them, they need to be ready. The 250-man squad for finish this phase of our war of independence. So that we start for implement the transition phase. So that we start for implement the transition authority for Ground Zero. That's why it be very essential for all Ambazonians and for commit. All. Because now the experts, they will go negotiate for Ambazonia. Ambazonians, they will bring in the best experts. Now they go negotiate. How you want me to go negotiate for you? Now what go back them for go negotiate for you? As Dr. Larry talker, diplomacy without a powerful defense force, it is like toilet paper, you don't wipe your last. It be useless. When you get a powerful force, you go for diplomacy with strength. You talk with power. That's why the governing council of Ambazonia, if he talk for the world with power, because it command power, because it control power. Because of the powerful forces we get on for ground. It not be enough. We need to take them one step further. We need to take them one step higher. For project Ambazonia and defend that freedom. When the world will look and say that people don't be ready. The world will look and say, that Canada ambassador, he go look am. He say, no, it's finished. It's finished. Cameroun has to get out. It's finished. These guys are serious. They're a different generation. They are serious. The minute they are serious. They're serious. It's over for Cameroun. Cameroun has to sign that surrender agreement. You see? So now we get to change the attitude of the world by what we will do and for ourselves. When you wait for the world for call for negotiation and you not get anything if it back you up, then you live at the mercy of the world. Not fight this kind war of independence, and then you leave yourself to be at the mercy of the world. You be the person where it control the leverage. Now you hold the lever. Now you hold the power. So now you go determine the outcome. Now I learn. So tomorrow, the leadership of Governing Council of Ambazonia, it go to visit with Ambazonians for Houston, Texas, for continue this conversation for the stabilization plan of Ambazonia. So we look forward to a great meeting with our comrades for Houston. We look forward for a very productive, constructive, and inspiring meeting. We look forward as one people, for come together, do something will be great for the greatness of our people then. We look forward. So the next 6 weeks, there will be now a marathon for the leadership in terms of mobilization for actualize the defense stabilization plan. So make all man get excited, get excited. Make this thing excite you. So don't come this far and we go for step up the game. We go for step up the game. If you donate your $1,000, your life go end. No. When you donate that $1,000 with passion, so you don't sow the seed of freedom for Ambazonia. For when our churches, they talk about sow seeds. That one, it is sow seed, you need reap nothing. This one, you sow the seed of independence. You sow the seed of freedom. So give that $1,000 with passion. Make your $500 donation with love. No, say you be part of this generation. When Ambazonia, it rise up, you put in the foundation for make Ambazonia stand forever. Not be say you be an Ambazonia. When Ambazonia don't get this far, you go fold your hand, you shit on. You say, well, whenever anything the world give me, take out. Then you be person you don't already defeat you. Be that Ambazonia where you say now so. Now I go give more than I don't ever give before. What if one Ambazonia? I'm just curious. What if one Ambazonia decide to change the destiny of the Ambazonian people then? And they give that 500,000. Because there is an Ambazonia where they watch and where they listen now. Where if he give 500,000? What if? What if an Ambazonia, he decide for say, why this people they take too much time? Now 250,000 this. When I take this 250,000, all I need for see now the AK them. How much be 250,000? How many AK them 250,000 go buy? You go buy 125 AK. Alright. Now 250,000 this. I give now 1 month. When I shown me brand new 125 AK. And Ambazonia Defense Forces, if you want even make your name, they put your name there for that AK. If you want make your name enter for that AK, they go do them. They show you and they bring them, deliver them for General F and hand. Make video, they show them for you say, Uncle Mommy this and Papa this. They make them private. No man, no. But they will send you the video. They say Mommy and Papa this. Now una 250,000 this way una give for Ambazonia for the stabilization plan. Now una 125 acre than this. We una name them. We una initial anything on the top. They make them. They go deliver them for the general. General go count them 1, just like if he make that dance the other day. General move dance. Oh, General F, cafe day up. He moved down to the boys. Now so they go line up. They go line that one now for football fee. They will carry the 125 AK. They put them for football fee. They line up and they line up. They go count them 1, 2, 3. So they go reach 125 AK. They go take the video. They send them for you. They cut you cafe. Say on behalf of the Ambazonian people then, We thank you very much. Upon independence, they go give you a certificate of, I don't know how they call that kind of certificate. All right. So, but also know say some Ambazonian day for outside day way, you get 100,000. And you know say 100,000 if you make a big difference for move for people then forward, especially this time when negotiation they come. You know so. The Governing Council of Ambazonia, the leadership of Ambazonia Defense Forces, it go deliver 100,000, it go produce 50 AK. They go buy the 50 AK, they show you the 50 AK, and they show the Ambazonian people the 50 AK. We only need 2 to 3 weeks for deliver those 50 AKs. All back into ground zero. Hannah for general. If you make a difference, if you make a difference, I call this for survival. Be that person where you change the game in favor of Ambazonia. We don't come very far. We'll be a great people. I know say you care. I know say you want the freedom too. Be a blessing for Ambazonia. Be an act of blessing for the Ambazonian people then. You have 50,000 if you give 25 AK. What is the difference if you make? 25 AK if you install a new brigade. It will make a big difference. You have 40,000 if you give 20 AK. What if you give $20,000 and you help for put in 10 AK? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? There are serious Ambazonian rich men and women where if you change the destiny of the Ambazonian people. The forces they don't fight, maybe your own fight. Now when it touch your heart, you say you go end the suffering of the people then. And you take your $20,000, your $10,000, your $20,000, your $50,000, your $100,000, and you make the ultimate difference. I love that for your people. Will be available. Will be available. The leadership be available for address any community, for address any country meeting, anything we want to know, any question we want to get at. The leadership for Ambazonian people then. For this phase of a war of independence, now one leader they the lead. It lead on self-defense and it lead for diplomacy for the Ambazonian people then. We'll be open for meet up any community meeting, any Ambazonian community, for visit Wuna virtually, and for get this conversation, for explain the plan properly, and the leader for answer all our questions. And the final phase this. If you make a difference, and your difference will make up if you change the lives of the Ambazonian people there. I call you make that difference. Make you change our people, their lives. Give them hope. May God bless you now. And I get a good night. We'll see our people then for Houston. We look forward for seeing you for visiting with for the visit with you tomorrow. We thank you plenty. All the people that don't watch we. For all man for ground zero. The commander will talk for you for today. All our generals them, all our soldiers them, when I cafe day up, and when I don't hold this resistance strong, when I keep up with the good work, we love una, we honor una, as always, we go always stand here, and for be, and for project the work we want to do. Any commander, no matter place we dey, no matter which go be the fight for, when I do big action, when I send with the information for promote the Ambazonian people then, all these things are for all we. The freedom are for all Ambazonians. The independence now for all Amazonians. And the country now for all we. Now get a good night. As always, we love you now. We'll talk on tomorrow. By the way, before I go, any man fit go for ttof.net, you fit go for it, just go make your commitment. Most of you get my phone number. If you make your commitment in no matter place where you're there for the world, we go always protect your identity and keep them confidential and private. All right? Except you tell we say no, when I fit put them for outside, it be okay. But if not be so, we go always honor them, protect your identity, protect your privacy, and keep them very confidential. Because for most of the places in they already live there, places in where they respect all the laws, they ask all we for respect privacy of private information. All right? So we thank you plenty. I'll be available. When I feel call, when I feel ask a question, when I get something for direct them. Any place where you did for the world, if you find way for ask for channel them directly to the leadership of the Central Treasury of Ambazonian Governing Council. So we look forward for a call. We look forward for a question. We look forward for anything way you want to know. Until then, we'll talk on tomorrow.